my dog. Oh, that's Cherry. My thing went off. You can't hear a word I'm saying.
I can hear a word you're saying.
Can you?
Sure.
Cherry's out walking the dog right now. There you are. Gonna get that in a minute.
I'm lazy. We have a fenced-in backyard.
She's gotta go walk her puppy. What she does. Un momento, por favor. We're getting there. We are getting there. I'm only doing 10 things at one time. We have new software.
That's what you were saying.
Oh my God. Oh, sorry. Did I? I might have dribbled a little bit. I'm sorry.
Well, that's why you said that you were off for a little while because of the software or something like that was being done.
Yeah. Crazy.
Technical upgrades.
Well, now we need the upgrades for remotes. For remotes. I mean, here we go.
Good morning, Sun Prairie. Time to rise and shine.
There we go.
Time to pour the coffee. Time to rise
A book.
and shine.
Oh, there's more.
I'll look at it afterwards.
Huh?
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
With Bill.
Oh my God.
Welcome
It'll give you things to talk about.
Street with your host, Bill Baker.
Can you hear okay?
I can hear it. I love the open.
Well, good morning, everybody, and a bright and cheery and crisp Monday morning. Hey, Bill Baker here, back on the air. Oh my gosh, OMG. What am I going to do with myself? I'm just like all excited and everything, and haven't been on here for Good Morning Sun Prairie for how long? I mean, this is crazy. Now, if you want to know why, I got to tell you real quick. Software. Software. Anytime you try to do anything with software, it just drives you crazy, right? I mean, you get a new phone, you got to figure out all the gizmos, gadgets, and the gewitzits and the doohickeys, as I like to say. And we're doing the same thing here at the Media Center. The radio station converted over to a brand new, beautiful. It's beautiful. I mean, it's like blue and red and stuff. It's pretty, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. Jeff Robbins, Colin Lessing have really worked hard to get the music and the word back out to you. And so I'm glad to be back here. I'm glad to be back here. You're listening to 103.5 WLSP, The Sun, home of Station of the Year, as chosen by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association, and our award-winning Good Morning Sun Prairie. I love to say that part. That's fun. Hey, we're underwritten by those wonderful folks at the Bank of Sun Prairie, and of course the Baker Realty Group, where we always bring you home. Always.
Aww.
Always. I know, right? Hey, this morning's going to be fun, and I met a lady that is going to blow your mind because she did me, and I have so much fun every time I see her. I'm around her, and I don't know how do I describe Dannelle Gay? Let's see. Well, she's the Traveling Cheesehead. We know that. She's a bundle of fun. she talks like as much as I do, if not more. So now you understand why we get along so well. She says, well, how much time do we have today? I'm like, well, we got 2 hours, girl, and I don't think that'll be a problem. I think we'll, I think we'll be okay with that. I can tell. But no, seriously, Dannelle Gay is in studio, and she is, I'm telling you, a serial entrepreneur who has a lot of ways to share her love of travel with all you peoples out there. And this lady does books. She writes books. She's an author. She's a speaker. She's a great lady. And she's a mom of an amazing child. And I'm not talking about her husband.
I always joke. I say I have 2 kids, one that's, 16 and one that's 60. So yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. So let's do this. Let's get the show started, and we'll come back and we'll meet this wonderful lady. And as we do every show, let's go fishing. Let's get started here. Get out in your boat, cast that line, and hook a winner. Here we are. Good morning, everybody. Now, we can't hear it in here because of Facebook. Those bastards.
Yeah.
They will shut me down. And then I have to fight with them again. I love fighting with Facebook. Meta.
Meta. Yes, Meta.
Because I haven't met anybody there that I like.
It's interesting with social media. I don't do a whole lot on it because I don't own my social media content. They change the rules at any time. They change the algorithms. I mean, look at what the dumpster fire Twitter is right now.
Oh, yeah.
But I own my content on my websites, what I syndicate, and then what I publish, so.
All right. Okay. Well. And there you have it. All right, I'm going to share you and our friends. So let's see. Share to a friend. Oh, there you are. I think we're friends.
Yes. I was like, ooh, he read my tagline on my email.
I did.
Mom to an amazing kid.
If I misspell your name again, I'm just going to scream. I've been spelling.
Dann.
I know. I know. All right, it's on your Facebook page. There you have it. I don't usually have this many notes.
Did you take notes on me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We got romance to talk about. We do.
You were digging on me, okay.
Oh, yeah. I love Facebook. You just sit here, everybody comes in. Now, if you have your phone,
Okay.
you can bring it up right now and you'll see all your friends checking in on it. And then you can forward it or share it wherever you want to go. So what I'm doing, hey Whitney, good morning. Danny Hawk, good to see you, buddy. I see basketball's going well. You can see who's on, and then you can reply to messages also.
Ah.
Whitney, I need a diving trip in the worst way. I gotta get away. So every show starts the same, and then fishing in the dark. So oh my gosh, at least 50 shows. One more. We'll do one more. Some people like the music. Is it Andy?
Mm-hmm.
That's your hubby.
That is my husband.
He was nice. Nice guy. Wow, you found a good one.
We were joking. We just did our 29th anniversary. So I've been there a long time. I've been with him longer than I've been without.
One man?
I know. I know. We went out to the Del Bar for our anniversary that night.
Oh, sweet.
And it was funny. The guy said, "Your anniversary, how long?" And I said, "We've had 25 wonderful years." And my husband goes, "We've been married 29. And I said, "I know. We've had 25 wonderful years."
That's funny.
The staff found it so hilarious. They even put on the receipt, you know, "Congratulations on 25 wonderful years," and like a winky face and all of that. So
That's cute.
out of 29, that's not bad.
I'd given up on the whole dating thing. And then Terry and I met right before COVID. Well, COVID had started. It was in March. And we were both just done with the dating sites. Oh my gosh. I mean, I've had experiences there. I could write a book on that.
A lot of us kiss a few toads before we find our prince. Yeah.
I don't even know if they'd be considered toads. They look toads look prettier.
I was being
Some of the
nice.
action-
I was being nice.
One lady lied to me. Well, several of them lied to me. One asked me for money.
Wow.
Facebook dating is cool though, because you get to see who their friends are. And if you got a mutual, hey. We got about 2 minutes, and we'll come back. So I got talk about your books, talk about 100 things to do before you die.
I'm really excited about that because we're going to give away over $500,000 to Wisconsin tourism. That's going to be fun.
We're going to talk about it. Talk about your public speaking. Talk about your websites. I'm going to pick on you with romance novels.
Talk about the coffee.
Coffee.
Yeah, I have a whole line of coffee.
Oh my gosh.
It's in the bag.
It is?
I do. Yeah.
Oh my God. You're amazing. I mean, what else? What don't you do?
Apparently sing.
You don't?
Well, I tried out for the church choir, and the guy afterwards, the director said, "Have you ever thought of handbells?" You know, and it doesn't say, it says lift up your hearts and sing to the Lord. It doesn't say you have to be good. So I'm just loud, but no.
I think that's why the lady in front of me always turns around and looks at me. I thought it was because I sang so well, but it's probably because I'm off key or something.
Oh no, I'm on key. It's the rest of them. They're on the wrong key. So's the organist. I don't understand.
Hey, Melissa, good morning. Madam Legislator, glad you could stop by and visit for a second. You know, one of these days you're going to be back on this show. So right now there's 4 people watching us.
Yep.
By the end of the day, you'll see counts of 500. People come back on and watch from. So it's right now. It's on YouTube. My YouTube page. It's on 1035's Facebook page. It's on my personal Facebook page. I can't remember if I put it on the real estate page or not.
Well, and you told me 7 o'clock, and I'm like, wow, really? That late at night? And you're like, no, in the morning. And I'm like, there's more than one 7 o'clock a day?
There is.
Hush.
I know.
Hush.
Okay, here we go. Okay, I thought that was a perfect lead-in song. Let it ride. I mean, first of all, Bachman Turner Overdrive. Who listens to BTO? Who listens to that anymore? Well, I do, because I really like them. And the sound is absolutely amazing. Yes, I'm dating myself. I don't care. I have gray wear between my ears, gray hair and gray wet wear between my ears. So I can do anything I want and get away with it. That's all I know. And as I said, hey, Melissa Ratcliffe, Whitney McMahon, Danny Hawk, glad you guys are on right now, and thanks for watching. I sure appreciate it very much. Hey, I met a lady. First of all, our Chamber of Commerce. We have an amazing Chamber of Commerce, and Christina Williams has done just such a wonderful job with her and her staff of pulling this organization, I would say, out of the muck. It's been a little sluggish in the last few years. I mean, they've done fine, but Christina has put a spin, a flair, a brilliance on the organization that has been missing for, I would say, 10, 15 years. I mean, it's that way. And now it's all about the businesses. It's about the membership. And she really shows that every day. And we have some different events that we go to. Every Friday is a coffee, I call it a coffee clutch.
Pretty much.
And then we rotate businesses. We were at Fairway Mortgage this past Friday. We've been to a Summit Credit Union. We've been at the Chamber. I can't remember where we were before that because I can't remember past yesterday. But what you do is we get together, and it's really networking. And some great ideas come out of these networking events. And so I'm at the Summit Credit Union coffee thing where I drink tea. I'm a tea drinker.
That's okay.
I lost the taste for coffee during COVID. Now, I will tell you about that this. But I met this lady. I ran into this lady because you know me being shy. Everybody knows how shy I am. I met this lady, and we started a conversation, and it's one of the most enjoyable conversations I've had in a long time. And it was just, I mean, I couldn't get a word in edgewise, first of all, and I thought, I like this person. She is cool. And so I met Danelle Gay, and she introduced herself as the Traveling Cheesehead. And I'm like, the what? And she goes, yeah, I'm the Traveling Cheesehead. Hands me a business card. Here she is, in a beautiful lady on a card with a cheese head on her head. Now, what do you say about that? I mean, how do you? I don't even know what to say after somebody hands you a business card, sitting there with a cheese head and a smile. It blew me away. Now, that's when the conversation really started. Finding out that this lady is looking to really support the tourism, working with chambers of commerce, partly, to give back to our community. She's writing a book, and it's about 100 things to do in Wisconsin before you die, and she's planning to give half $500,000. I said million, not billion. This isn't the government. $500,000 in back to tourism off the book that she's writing. And that caught my attention. First of all, I'm like, why in the hell would you want to do something like that? Because I could spend that money. Give it to Bill. Bill will help you with that. I can do that. But then the more I learned about Dannelle, all of a sudden she's a speaker. She's an author. And when I say she's an author, she's an author. She writes, I'm going to say romance novels. There was a 4-letter word I wanted to use in there, but because I'm a guy, I think romance novels, and I think smut books. You're not that type of writer, though. I haven't read it.
No. I write multiple kinds of books.
You do. I can't figure out what you don't do. I mean, I have folks holding in my hands, my football hands. Football's now over, so I don't have stats anymore. Now I've got information. I have 4 pages of notes on this lady, and I just don't know what. I mean, she's owned a restaurant. She's a chef, a catering company. She was in the Army Reserves. She joined Tupperware brands and just smoked them. Just did a fantastic job there, and has been a Girl Scout leader and a dance mom. I mean, I don't know where to go with this, so I just want to say good morning and welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Now, you're not new to radio. You're not new to TV or anything like that, I hear.
No, I've done spots off and on different places, I want to say for maybe 15 years.
Oh, wow. Pull your mic a little bit closer.
A little bit closer.
You can grab it. I do this, just like crank that thing.
Crank that thing. All right.
Get a hold of it and let her rip.
Is that better?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. It is. Now, that $500,000 jumped out at me. Because why would anybody want to give $500,000 to the state of Wisconsin?
Okay, not the state of Wisconsin, but nonprofit tourism.
Oh, well, isn't that tourism? Isn't that the state?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
That's how you look at it. So,
right.
COVID hit a lot of people hard. I mean, we know that. Every industry almost, and
What's
we're still
it?
bouncing back. COVID.
I thought it was that gal. What's her name? Pandemic.
Yeah, they're
Whatever.
related.
Whatever.
They're related. Yeah. So I kind of crashed the governor's conference on travel this year
Okay.
because I was
Yeah,
talking.
tell you about talk about that story because that is hilarious as hell. You crashed. You crashed this meeting, a governor's meeting.
So
I felt so comfortable with that because I could do that. And Melissa Ratcliffe, she's sitting there going, yes, yeah.
Yeah, you would, yeah. So I was working, I had gotten the contract for the 100 Things to Do in Wisconsin Before You Die with Reedy Press. And my last book, Midwest Road Trip Adventures, was written during COVID. It was a group project I did with Midwest travel writers because we were all locked in our state, and I kind of said, hey, we're all stuck in our states. Let's write a book together. So we covered the highways and the byways of our state. And we had a best-selling travel book in the middle of a global pandemic.
What?
Yeah, I know. There's a copy of it in the bag I gave you. You got
You
a first
did?
edition signed by multiple authors.
Oh my gosh.
It's now in their
Did you
second
sign it?
edition. Of course I signed it.
I gotta check. I gotta ask, you
Yeah.
know. All right.
And it just went in the second edition, and it's a bestseller again in multiple categories as a second edition. So,
Oh my gosh.
but we saw that, it was going to be outdoor experiences and road trips. So I had just signed the contract for this book. I had talked to people kind of on the perimeter of the state for the last book, and I knew I needed to hit a lot more of the middle. So I was calling all of these different chambers of commerce and these different people, and it was like, oh, well, can we talk to you after next week? We have a conference to go to. Oh, we're going to be at a conference next week. And finally I said, what conference?
What conference?
And they said, well, the governor's conference on travel, WCOT. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right, fine. So then after real quick looked on the computer, and I'm like, well, holy crap, it's in Madison. We're in Sun Prairie. It was literally 20 minutes from my house. So
As I have to.
Well, and I looked, and it didn't see anywhere on there where it didn't say a travel writer couldn't. So 4:45 p.m. that Friday afternoon, I got my registration in before it closed at 5.
Oh my gosh.
I was the only travel writer there.
Oh really?
Oh my gosh. So needless to say, there are people like Ann Sayers in the travel industry that know who I am now, and it may or may not be a good thing, I'm not sure. But I learned an awful lot there. First of all, I learned that lanyards at a big convention when you're trying to look for specific people suck,
Yeah.
because they all hang right about your boobs.
Right at your boobs.
Right at your boobs.
I
So
mean,
you're-
I think people think I'm a pervert.
yeah, so you're walking around trying to find the names, because I was looking for different cities. I wanted Oshkosh and Eau Claire, and so I'm looking for all of these, and you feel so strange, like trying to, I'm over 50, so I have bifocals.
You have
And
bifocals.
so you're like,
What the hell's your name?
I know,
Bubba?
it's like great first impression. Awesome. So, but I did. I connected with everybody that I was looking forward to, but
Oh,
I
you
sat
did?
in on the sessions.
Yeah.
And I learned that Wisconsin got less federal COVID relief dollars than any other Midwest state.
I read that. Why did that happen? How did our governor let that happen?
Well, it's not necessarily the governor that.
Oh yeah, the
is
fish
in
rots
control
from
of
the
that.
head down. Don't forget.
Yeah, yeah.
Always.
So it's not necessarily the governor. It's just we got less. And I was then listening to the stories. They had different people from different communities talking, and how they pivoted, kind of like we did with our road trip book, and what they prioritized, and focusing on outdoor experiences, or how they used something like Facebook so that they could every day feature a different business, or this is what this restaurant has for a special, how they really worked so hard with their communities. And these places had smaller budgets, less staff, working out of their homes instead of their offices, so they faced a lot of challenges. It was very eye-opening. So when I started visiting these communities then, and looking at different places for my book, while I was there, I talked to these nonprofits. I went into the conference with a list of about 150 to 200 rough, Wisconsin gems I wanted to feature, and I tweaked it quite a bit. There's a lot of things that you can only do in Wisconsin that are in my book.
Okay.
And
Like?
Trago, Wisconsin, north of Spooner, there is the only shovel-nose steamer train that you can ride. They were built, 10 of them were built in the 30s, and the Mark Twain Zephyr is there. They refurbished it, and starting this spring, you'll be able to ride the Zephyr. There was 10 made, 2 of them are in museums, and actually, in Trago, they have 5 cars. They have the one car that from the Chicago Museum didn't fit in the Chicago Museum, so they have the Effie Dean from the one that's in Chicago, and it'll be the only place in the world that you can ride ride a Zephyr, or one of those shovel-nose steamers from the 30s.
What is a shovel nose steamer?
It was a really fun, like, Art Deco design in the mid 30s, and these were like incredible trains at the time. They went over like 110 miles an hour, and
Wow.
for the people that really love trains, it's an incredibly unique experience.
I love trains.
You would love it up there.
Well, I went to school in Richmond, Virginia. Took the train to Philadelphia, where my parents had moved. When we moved from Michigan, I was already in college. My folks moved to right outside of Philadelphia in a town called Levittown. And so I would take the train from Richmond to Trenton, New Jersey, and they'd pick me up there. I love train. And then when I lived in North Jersey, we used to take the train all the time into the city. You don't drive. You don't need a car to go into New York City.
Nope.
Leave your car at home. Take the train. Take the taxis. It's easy. But
We've
I
done
love trains.
Well, here in some Prairie, we can go to Columbus and pick up a train and be in Chicago or New York. We've, as a family, gone to New York on the train.
Isn't that
it's wonderful?
Cool? I think it's fun. It's a little pricey, but we got to work it.
When you figure, though, the fact that it's a 24-hour adventure,
Yeah.
I mean, going around the Horseshoe Bend and some of those different fun things, it's awesome.
I would love to go to like Montana on the train or Seattle. Take that ride. Do that.
We'll work on that.
We'll do that.
We'll get
That'd be
on that.
kind of cool. So what's the number one thing to do in Wisconsin before you die?
Well, it's funny. The book is numbered 1 through 100, but it's
I
not
know.
like in order of like importance.
It's not?
It's not. It's like divided into 5 sections. So food and drink. There's sports and recreation, culture, history, little shopping action in there. So they're numbered not necessarily in like my top hot list, but there's so many cool things in there. You know, we've got the Milton House in Milton, Wisconsin, that is a documented underground railroad stop, and there are so few of those. They didn't want, a record of it because these freedom seekers that were coming up trying to get to Canada, you didn't want like things in writing where they were helping these people.
Oh, wow.
So that's one of the nonprofits that I'm going to be going and doing a book signing for in 2023 after the book comes out, and the profits that day are going to go to the Milton House.
Wow.
That's how I'm giving money back. I have over 80 book signings lined up in these different places, and that day the profits from the book are going to those organizations.
So let's back up now. I think that's amazing, and thank you for doing that. Thank you for being so generous. Where did this all start? I mean, was this when you're like 3 or 4 years old, and your mom and dad guided you to this, or where did this that entrepreneurial feel, but also philanthropic side of this? Where did it come from?
We didn't have a lot growing up, and it was a single parent household, and there was always ways to give back. We never had the empty chair at the table. If we ever found out somebody was going to be alone, we made sure that, during the holidays that they had a dinner to come to. I mean, just, it doesn't take a lot of work to be kind to people.
That's true. And thank you for saying. I think I like to add to that. It's not hard to smile. Because you smile, somebody will smile back, or they'll go, "Why you smile?" Because I'm happy. I'm glad to see you.
Well, it takes less muscles. I'm just being lazy, right?
Wait. Let me get bitchy resting face. All right. I got to work on that one.
It doesn't look good on you.
No, not at all.
It doesn't. It's not recognizable.
I came from a single family home when I was young. I think I was 5 when they divorced, something like that. Lived with my grandparents. And what I was taught during that time, farm kid, is always share your time, talent, and treasure. Always put others first. I can't tell you how many times. I could probably have $1 million every time I've heard that from my grandfather. Now, did you put him first? What were his needs? What's going on there, boy? And my grandfather called me boy all the time. Boy, come here. I was firstborn, so I was the king, of course, for grandchildren. But giving the needs of others first is huge in my world. You got to do that. You got to help other people because it makes me smile.
Well, and I think that when we are blessed to a point,
Right.
It is our responsibility to turn around, reach down and bring somebody up with us.
Yeah.
It's, I don't believe in handouts, I believe in hand up.
I knew you were going to say that.
There we go.
You saw
Scary.
me. Went, I love that. See, I told you there's this connection that you and I have is huge.
Well, I was just impressed because you had a shirt with your name on it. It didn't say like Nike or Izod or something. You were so self-confident. You had your own branded line of clothing.
Well, did you see on the back of that shirt?
We were talking so much, I don't think you ever turned around.
Well, my name is on my back.
Oh.
In little gold print says Bill Baker. Terry has noticed, Terry's my other half, she has noticed that people don't call me Bill. They don't go, hi Bill. It's like, hi Bill Baker. It's like I have two first names or something. It's hilarious. And I now laugh every time I hear it because it's kind of fun. Hi Bill Baker. And then I realized I've got that everywhere. Bill Baker, Bill Baker.
Oh, it's like I got to design a shirt for that or something like that. That's just hilarious.
I'm Bill Baker.
You're Bill Baker.
So, I was trying to pull out of you where you got this from and how you started writing the books. What came first, the romance books?
Well, I guess I've always been a storyteller. There's a family little story that they like to bring out once in a while. Apparently, when I was 4, my mom, I told everybody in the neighborhood that she dog paddled across our flooded basement and saved my life.
I can see that.
There was probably like an inch of water because, house 70s, it leaked a little. But, so apparently, I've been a creative storyteller for a long time.
Oh my gosh. Steve Judd, welcome to the show. And folks, if you're on radio, you're welcome to go to Facebook Live. You can either go to 1035 Facebook page, watch us there. You can go to my YouTube page, or you can go to the Bill Baker page on Facebook. And you can see us in studio right now, behind the scenes. In fact, when music's playing, you get to hear the conversations that you probably shouldn't hear, but they're good conversations. A lot of stuff comes out of it, and it's a good thing. We're interviewing, we're not interviewing, we're just having a conversation with Danelle Gay, and she's awesome. The Traveling Cheesehead. But this lady is a lot more than what that name kind of depicts, that picture that you see when you think of that, because she's also into, and her public speaking is really education. It's about teaching. It's about supporting what you need and what you probably need and you just don't know. But she can bring this to light, and she is known for doing different courses and things like that. I love this. How to take your blog to the book. Is that how you started? Was your blogs first and then you wrote a book?
I started blogging, gosh, I want to say maybe 14 years ago now. Being in real estate, you'll appreciate this. We had the cute little 1,100 square foot home, but
Sure.
It was in the city, almost an acre lot, and it was paid off. So we were like, okay, it's time to go to a bigger house now. The kids, getting to that age, needs a bigger room other than, yeah. So we looked around for what we could afford. We wanted to see what we liked. We knew what we would sell our house for, and the difference between the two was about $40,000. What we were looking at buying, and then what we would get for selling our house.
Okay.
So I created Operation 40K. That was my first website, and it was to be publicly accountable for saving $40,000. And we did it in less than a year.
That was hilarious. When I read about that, and you're jumping ahead of my notes, that's fine, because you got to talk about this. This is absolutely amazing. Tell people what that program's all, what you achieved, or what your intent was for that.
For saving $40,000?
Yes.
That was so that we could sell our house and add that $40,000 and then pay cash for our new home.
Well,
So,
did you
we have a house
continue to
without a
do
loan.
this year after year, though? I mean, or did it stop
your
after you got the
financial goals
house?
change. I mean, there's so many people that need to pay off their past. So they need to pay off the school loans, or pay off credit card debt, or pay off mortgages or car loans or whatever. And then after that, you have to pay up your future. You have to pay for your retirement. You got to make sure you have your emergency fund. I mean, all of those things. So I don't think your finances you meet one goal and it stops. Your goals just change as you go through.
Oh, sure. That's true. Hey, Senator Agard, Melissa Agard is watching. Thanks, Melissa, for being on. We appreciate it. Man, I've got Melissa Ratcliffe, and then I've got Melissa Agard. I mean, I got the Melissas. That's all you need.
There we go.
I got both sides of the house here. That's kind of nice. It's, but to save $40,000, I mean, wow. Let me think about that for a minute. No, I don't think so. That might be a little painful. More painful than Terry wants.
When I was teaching, because I did something, it was at the grocery store, and that's how I started actually teaching on this. I had $240 I was checking out, and it got down to $12. And I heard the lady behind me go, "Holy crap." We were looking for someone to teach on this, and I just found my teacher, and she worked for the city, but I ended up teaching at the library.
Okay.
And so I did coupon clipping 101, and then talked about meal planning, and then children on the cheap, because we love our children. They're priceless, but they're expensive little boogers to raise, and it kept going. So.
These are great subjects. I love this. How to write a low content book. You've already talked about coupon clipping. Meal planning. I love that. Meal planning 101.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see it, I eat it. I mean, that's my meal plan. And my bod toe shows you that I'm Black Friday boot camp.
Oh, I used to shop on Black Friday and take care of gifts for the year. I mean, and it was amazing.
Oh my gosh, you're a glutton for punishment. You go out there and fight with all those people out there.
Oh gosh, you wouldn't believe the deals that I had gotten, especially when you have a little kid. Toys for every birthday party, clothes, I mean, you name it. We kind of planned ahead for the year. Even restaurant gift cards. That was the best time to get restaurant gift cards.
Wow. I just don't want to be in the crowd. I don't want to, no.
I think the only
I've
place
done
that
it.
I go now is Menards.
Maynard's?
Yeah.
That's what I call it, Maynard's.
Maynard's.
I like it better. Sounds like Maynard's, because I'm going to go down and get me some wood and build stuff. I'd change that word if I weren't on the air right now. All this stuff is amazing. Everything, your accomplishments are something else.
I think I have 42 different companies.
42 different companies. Oh my gosh. I don't know how you do that.
Well, different websites,
Yeah.
and then I have online stores for some of the websites, and then there's the books. Physical products, like, we have ornaments and stuff like that.
Puzzle books.
Puzzle books. And then my coffee line.
And then you've got a website about your daughter.
My kid is amazing.
And wait. College at 9?
Our kid is the youngest University of Wisconsin Badger ever. Yes. Was accepted to the University of Wisconsin at the age of 9. There was online, of course, because was too young to be on campus. But the University of Wisconsin-Madison was amazing to work with. They did private entrance exams, everything. They were fantastic.
Well, they probably didn't know how to really review her entrance application. Like, well, first of all, she doesn't have any grades, right? She doesn't have an SAT or ACT.
Correct.
And they're like, 9, really? And
we had excellent letters of recommendation from her learning teams. So
wow.
The Sun Prairie tag teachers that we had in elementary school, the kindergarten teacher that we had, Aaron Fritz at the time, was amazing and pulled out. And usually they don't start tag testing kids until 2nd grade. And in kindergarten we had baselines for everything already.
oh my gosh. What I liked when I read about that was that you also kept her in elementary school. She was going to school, right?
Yeah.
Regular elementary school. I can't remember which one though.
North side.
North side. Of North side. And then she was also taking one class, was it?
1 to 2 college classes at a time, depending
What
on.
type of college classes was she taking?
Oh my gosh, at that point was in astrophysics stuff. So astrology. I know when 5th grade, astrology, because for the 5th grade class, led them on kind of like a PowerPoint presentation of what she learned, like a summary of it, and then led them in a mock asteroid crater impact experiment.
Oh, okay.
Well, it was really kind of fun. Basically, it was like bins with flour and then cocoa powder over the top, and they were throwing Hershey Kisses to get an idea of how it was going to look like when an asteroid hit the moon or something like that.
What a great idea!
And they got to eat the Hershey Kisses. The kids loved it.
Oh my gosh, that would have been so cool. Poof.
But we wanted, if you've ever seen Big Bang Theory, we didn't want a Sheldon
yes,
Cooper.
I know.
So,
First person I thought of.
We'd had like 50 colleges knock on the door. We weren't going to move for, a 9 or 10-year-old to go away in college and
No.
be full-time college. We wanted as normal as experience as possible. So there was everything from dance and Girl Scouts and orchestra, you name it. We tried to keep everything as normal as possible.
So, mom of an exceptional child, author, public speaker, business owner, philanthropist. Am I missing anything?
I can't sing.
You can't sing. What do you mean you can't sing?
Okay.
I sing great. There's other people who don't like it.
That's just a going joke.
Oh my gosh, you can't sing?
Well, I tried out for our church choir
Yeah.
once upon a time, and the
Okay.
music director said, "Have you ever thought of handbells?"
Hand.
So I did do handbells for about a year and a half, but yeah.
I'd be picking up the wrong one, or I'd be dropping them. You gotta wear those gloves and everything. And
Oh man, if you do the little bells, you got a lot of them. If you do the big bells, you only have 2 or 4 of them, but those suckers are heavy.
Are they?
Oh man, man, they're awesome.
Gotta get the technique down.
Well, and then
Oh,
then
yeah.
the damping, and then the tamping, and sometimes you have the mallets, and it's crazy. And your white gloves have to stay white.
Oh my gosh, talk to me about the romance novels. Because I'm going to tell you, when I was doing my research, that jumped out at me, and I'm like, no way. And then you had a, what do you call it? What do you call it? A different name.
Pen name.
You had a pen name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have pen names for my romance books. Yes.
That is hilarious.
Well,
Where'd they come from? I mean, where'd they come from? It came from your heart. I know where they came from.
I get ideas all the time. I literally have a notebook on my bedstand.
Yes.
But one series, The Wolves of Wisconsin, I got the idea. I was driving somewhere, and I was listening to National Public Radio, and they went on about the wolf count. They said something about the annual wolf count this year is down. We have like 594 wolves, but that doesn't include the babies that we will find after the spring thaw or something like that. And I was like, so right off the bat, I pictured some guy driving down the road, listening, hearing it on the radio, accidentally hitting a wolf that runs across the road, and then going, crap, make that 593 wolves, not 594. And then when he gets out to look at the wolf, it turns out it's a human, because it was a animal shifter romance.
Oh,
So he
look
hit
at your
his
mind.
future love. So
Oh my gosh! And you write these under
different names.
Maria Fraser.
Marie Fraser
I got that one.
and
But
Danelle Gay.
Daniel, I know.
Such a stretch.
I know. Mark Simmons Brothers series. I didn't get a chance to read any of these.
Well, some of these, okay, that is the, I do historical romance.
Frontier Bride,
Yeah.
His Bedside Manner.
Oh, that was
Abigail.
so funny. That series, 1888, De Smet, South Dakota. So around the time like Laura Ingalls Wilder.
Okay.
Little different twist. But I get migraines, and I used to go into urgent care, UW Health urgent care on the west or the east side here, and get injections when I had migraines. And so one of the doctors, I was kind of stuck for a character, and it was finally the doctor comes in, and he was wearing, cowboy boots, and he had kind of that little walk, and I was like, that's my rancher, that's the guy. But I'm so stupid when I have a migraine. I'm like firing on nothing. And I said, okay, you're going to think this is really strange, but I've been stuck in a character. Can I just take your picture, because
Oh
I'm
my
not going to
gosh.
remember this? And he's like, I'm not comfortable with that. But I remembered it enough to get the book done. And then the next one, I was a different doctor from that urgent care. And then the third doctor, he was so funny. He's like, what am I, chopped liver? And so then the third book, I used him, and I dropped a copy off at the clinic. I don't know if he ever got it, or if the staff was just, the nurses were passing it around reading it, because I thought it was so funny.
That is funny. The Pastor's Daughter.
Yep.
Man, my mind just goes in about 100 different directions with that. A title like that, is it a good daughter? Is it a bad daughter? Is it a...
Oh, she was a good daughter.
She's a good daughter. Oh, there are no bad daughters.
We're not talking like 50 Shades of Grey stuff here.
What?
We're talking,
I gotta get into that.
romance, not smut. And historical, I mean, you've got to get things, 1888, you're talking, post-Civil War, a lot of the saddles that ranchers were using were surplus war saddles. They didn't have saddle horns and things like that. So there's so many little details. It's just crazy.
I learned to ride horse on an English saddle. I think it's better, but that's just my opinion. Things get in the way when you put stuff down there in front, and I'm telling you, it's not comfortable. 1888 sounds like a Yellowstone kind of time frame.
It could be.
It could be.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Is your TV show going to come out next?
I don't know. We'll get to that. We'll see where this takes me.
with romance novels. TV
I almost
show.
sold one to Hollywood.
You did?
Almost.
That's got to be something else. I've been working on so I have 2 books. One is about for sale by owners, about helping them sell their houses. Then I have another one on difficult homes to sell. That was back in the day when they were sitting on the market, and I was trying to show people what they could do to improve their odds of selling. But what I've been working on since COVID is a book on real estate and divorce. And I do a little bit here, a little bit there. Then I'll go back and I'll change something, and I don't know why it's taking me so long. But I can. That's why when I see the books that you're writing and all this, I'm like, how in the hell does she do all this? Because I know what I go through and just a little bit of stuff, and I'm not a big author or anything like that. Mine's just mainly for clients and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, the stuff you go through.
So basically, I'm a writer.
I know.
And I can do 10,000 words a day. I mean, that just.
How's that again? Okay, just like that.
I also have multiple projects, so if I get hung up on something, I just switch. It's as easy as opening a different tab on the computer.
Oh my gosh, I tell you. The puzzle books are interesting to me too. Seek and Find, I love those.
Yeah, the puzzle books, they have multiple different kinds of puzzles.
I know.
was playing with a different software and creating all sorts of different fun themed puzzle books.
Proud to be an American is the one I checked out. I like that. It jumped out at me. It's patriotic. I'm like, I gotta look at this.
There you go.
Seek and Find. So I do a little thing. Well, I haven't done it in a while, but when I was single and had nothing to do but twiddle my thumbs, and during COVID, I like to take the Seek and Find in the newspaper. I print it out, and then I'll give myself like 7 minutes to do the entire puzzle. I'm allowed to look at all the words that are hidden, and then I'll set a timer and go, and just sit there and focus. And I think for me it's a way of working on focusing techniques, and really looking at a page and seeing a page. But that's just fun stuff. See, now you know another side of me.
See, I'm totally sure that I have ADHD because I'm like that computer with 40 screens open. You don't know where the music's coming from. I mean, that's just me.
Oh my God. I went out and bought it. I've got a stand now. I have 3 monitors. So, but my monitors right now are sitting on boxes, like these little plastic things. I bought it somewhere for like $1, probably, I don't know where, the dollar store or something. So I found this 3-unit that will hold my screens on Marketplace. Paid $50 for it. Normally they're a couple hundred. Went out, got it. I was psyched. I'm psyched. I got no screws in the back, and I can't find the right size screw for the monitors to mount these. I was so excited. Sunday, I'm putting up my new monitors. Had to go buy another monitor. Boom, there it is. Little things in life. Not knowing what screw to use. That sounds like a title of a good book. I could see you writing that. I hate when you have bad screws and stuff.
Oh, you're naughty.
I am. Hey, brandy slush.
Yes.
That is life of the party recipes from my 20 years as a Tupperware career. Oh, Tupperware. Brandy slush. Why was that the #1 drink?
Oh, slush parties were fantastic. I was a chef, so I had a food background. So a lot of the parties when I was doing the demonstrations, I was actually cooking and using the products and cooking or doing things like that. But get a bunch of ladies together and brandy slush, it's a party.
So did you start selling Tupperware and that's how that grew, or?
I wasn't going to sell Tupperware.
You weren't?
I got in for the discount. I was newly married, and I was working a lot with my restaurant, and because business owner, I think I was putting in about 80 hours a week between the restaurant and the catering company.
Okay.
And I just got in for the discount because I could get like a 35% discount. I thought, okay.
That's funny.
And the person who was my manager or whatever at the time, somebody on the party or somebody in her group was sick, and couldn't do their party, and she said, you're the last person I can ask for this. I will lend you everything you need, just go do the party. And I was like, all right, how tough can this be? I held up a bowl, I said, you put potato salad in it, and I made $200 off of that party.
Wow.
For like an hour. I was like, shut up.
Shut up. Shut the front door.
Up. And
I gotta do this again.
Well, I had booked 3 parties off of that party, and I was able to keep them because that's how it worked when you sold a party. So
wow.
And it just went from there. And soon I was a charter Tupperware director, and I had the cars, the trips, the whole thing.
It's really, I love the history of Tupperware and how it started, and it was to go door to door, and it was that type of marketing, in-home sales, and that. And what a great story! Back in a time when it was needed. I mean, you got to learn how to burp that stuff, right?
Well, and back then, women also didn't have a lot of options. It wasn't
Right.
until the 70s that we could get a credit card in our name, even have a doctor appointment without our husband having to be there to hear what the doctor said about us physically. So, I mean, you know, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, it gave women a sense of freedom.
Oh my gosh, I tell you, Tupperware.
Yeah.
Tupperware. Don't ever put spaghetti sauce in Tupperware and leave it overnight. I mean, it stains it. How do you get that stain out of it?
Well, you're supposed to spray it first.
Spray with what?
Like Pam or something.
In the Tupperware bowl?
Sure.
Huh. No, I just learned
And they
something.
actually have stuff now with the different kinds of materials that it's not going to stain. It's made of like, you know, Lexan polycarbonate and stuff like that. The same stuff they use for the like windshields on your fighter jet pilot
Yeah.
planes.
Yeah, that stuff.
Yeah, that stuff.
Yeah.
They used to show like people driving over it.
So what do you think of Pampered Chef?
I think that they have some great stuff.
I got every gizmo, gadget, bowl, knife, whatever. I got it all.
Oh, we need them all. I love the hamburger chopper.
Oh man, I just like the can opener. Terry says to me, we went to this art fair. I was broadcasting this weekend at the Round Table. They were having their holiday art fair, and she says, I think we need a new can opener because the one we have doesn't work. I said, I'm really thinking it's probably the operator that can't operate the can opener. She turns around and looks at me. I'm like, but we can check it when we get home and see. And if we do need one, then we'll get another one.
Good save.
I
Oh
know.
man, I didn't know they had shovels that fast that you were really digging. Whew.
Man, I tell you, I was something else. Hey, where's the one I wanted? World of Caves. I can't see you in a cave.
Have you ever been to Cave of the Mounds? I mean, Wisconsin's like amazing show cave.
I have not, but I've been to Mammoth Cave.
Okay, I've
And
written
I've
about
done the
Mammoth Cave.
spelunking.
Mm-hmm.
And my jeans crawling through holes I didn't think I'd ever get through. Today I would not make it through those holes.
Okay, so Mammoth Cave, Cave of the Mountains, you're not going to have to worry about your jeans. I mean, they have like ladders, stairs,
Oh, yes, I do.
railings, the whole thing, and it's really beautiful. And they have stuff with black lights where you can see all sorts of cool things. You need to get your vanny down to Cave of the Mounds.
It's haunted.
Cave of the Mounds is haunted?
It's haunted.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't think so, but that's all right.
I make it up as I go.
Good for you.
Did you know?
Say it with authority and like you mean it.
Exactly, and then that's true.
Then I get a text from Cave of the Mounds people. They're in my book, by the way.
Jeez.
But seriously, and what's wonderful about Cave of the Mounds
Yeah.
is it's going to be the same temperature inside year round. So when it is 20 degrees, like it was this weekend, 10 degrees, go to Cave of the Mounds. It's going to be nice and warm. You don't have to wear your jacket inside.
There is a place in, oh my gosh, south of St. Louis, Bonne Terre, Missouri,
Mm-hmm.
the Bonne Terre Mines. It's flooded, and the water is crystal clear. It's a 1 billion-gallon lake. And I scuba dive there. I've dove there several times. Most amazing thing.
Cave diving.
Cave. Well, but it's a different kind of cave diving. I've done that with the lines and all that
Mhm.
in Mexico. That is a story in itself. But Bonne Terre, they left the trains, all the tools. They're just there. And you can't touch them. You can't. It's almost like a Disney World of scuba diving. But it's a led group. You have a leader. What I think is funny is that, so when you're in scuba diving, you're what's called neutrally buoyant. So you're not rising, you're not sinking. And so you're swimming along. Well, all of a sudden we'll come into a room and here's this huge giant,
Good giant.
cavern that goes straight down. Honest to gosh, Daniel, you'll see people swim towards it, see it, and go around it. I'm like, you think it's going to suck you down or something? Or you're just going to fall down the hole? You've been neutrally buoyant through the whole thing. It's hilarious.
It's the psychology of it. I mean, you've seen even those studies where they have a glass floor
Yeah.
and then like part of it, like underneath it, there's stairs going down and the babies won't go over the part where the stairs are going down.
Oh,
The babies stay on what they consider and perceive as solid. I mean, it's just a psychological thing.
that's fun stuff.
Isn't it great?
Oh my gosh. The caves. How many caves in Wisconsin? Do you know?
Oh gosh, there are more caves in the United States between, the show caves and the wild caves, and there's so many caves. It's just crazy. Even salt caves. So I got hooked, well, between Cave of the Mounds and then I was in Squire Boone Caverns in Indiana. So those got me hooked. But that was a COVID project because I saw with COVID everything was going to be outdoor experiences. So I took my cave posts off of the Traveling Cheesehead and created theworldofcaves.com.
Okay.
And then I thought, well, I need to do like a list of caves for every state to start with. And then going back to those individual caves and starting to work on those individual caves and write about those too.
The city of Louisville, Kentucky has a cave underneath it. And in fact, it's a huge tourist attraction. Christmas time, they decorate it. There is also zip lines through the cave, which I think is hilarious. Mammoth Cave is actually a lot of fun. You don't need jeans. I would wear a jacket because it does get a little chilly down there. I think it's like 68 degrees year round. Big steps, a lot of climbing. So if you don't like steps, don't go. There are parts of a cave where you can go with minimal steps, but if you want to get down in that cave, that's what you do. Whitney McMahon, cave diving. Got to be really good with buoyancy and kicking. Not for me. Whit, you'd be surprised. It's a lot of fun. Where was I? Oh man, I can see the name and I can't say it. In Mexico, I was in Acamel, and there was actually a halocline, and so you'd be swimming through salt water, then come into fresh water, and you get that blur in the caves. But we used lines. In fact, the guy where I was in Acamel, Steve Yeager, actually died in this cave. He went down too deep and got lost in the cave. Big cave diver too. Guy was a world-renowned cave diver, and didn't come out of it. But caves, I love caves. I like caves in the ocean especially because things come at you, pop out at you.
Do you
Fresh
get
water.
music like the Jack in the Box?
No, no, it's usually. I've watched so many tight-fitting videos. Yes, I know. Sorry, but all right. So what was the other one I wanted to talk to you about? Gastric bypass gal.
Yeah,
Did you go through that?
I did. I lost 150 pounds.
What?
I know.
What'd you do with it?
The weight I lost?
Yeah.
I don't know. Left it way behind. I do everything now from skydiving to whatever.
Oh my gosh. So is that procedure painful?
Well, it doesn't tickle.
Yeah.
You're usually under anesthesia, so you
I
don't
know,
feel it.
but you got to come out of it.
They have you up and walking right away at the hospital,
Uh-huh.
and then you're usually home within 24 hours. I had no complications like some people do and all of that. I don't, but it was kind of funny for the first day or two that I was at home and he was at work, the kid was at school, and I wasn't able to pick stuff up off the ground if I dropped him. So my kid came home from school, and they had to pick up the remote from the TV. They had to pick up my insulated water bottle. They had to pick up the popsicle I dropped from the freezer. They had to pick up, it was like 8 things, and my kids look at me going, "You were busy today." And I said, well, but the recovery time was pretty fast. It's not a magic, have surgery, all of a sudden you lose weight. It's just like another tool.
Uh-huh.
And so it was a lot of work, but it was what I needed. I had had so many car accidents, and between the arthritis and fibromyalgia and all that, it was like I had a negative metabolism, and it was what I needed to make the change I needed.
Well, fantastic. Let's do this. Let's take a break.
Okay.
We're at the top of the hour, so we're gonna let me reset the show, and we'll be back to you. You're listening to Good Morning Sun Prairie, and with my special guest Danelle Gay, the Traveling Cheesehead. We'll be back in a few minutes, folks. Hang in there.
Too funny.
Is it funny?
I love it. So you have to look in the bag.
Hey, thanks, Lisa. Appreciate that for my former producer. Love her, miss her. She's over in, where is she now? I was going to say Whitewater. That's Watertown. She's in Watertown, and she's the director over there of their media center. And Lily, miss you terrible. Hey, got some stuff to tell you about, so sit back, get your calendar out. Here we go. You ready? Hang on tight. Santa Saturdays. Yep, starting 12:30 to 2:30 on Saturday, November 26th. Visit Santa and tell him your Christmas wishes at the Sun Prairie Historical Museum, located at 115 East Main Street. For more information, go to downtownsunprairiewi.com for more information. Holiday Fire and Lights Parade. Kick off the holiday season in downtown Sun Prairie with a light parade by the Sun Prairie Volunteer Fire Department and area fire departments beginning at 5:50 p.m. on Saturday, November 26th, with dancers from Fusion Dance Academy, followed by 6 p.m. by the parade, and after the parade, Santa, imagine that, will light the Christmas tree in front of the Sun Prairie Historical Museum, again at 115 Main Street. Ladies, here you go! Ladies' Night Out from 5:30 to 8:30 Thursday, December 1st in downtown Sun Prairie. Gather your friends for an evening of shopping, giveaways, in-store specials, entertainment, drink, and food specials. And of course, that jolly old guy himself, Santa, will be in downtown Sun Prairie. Go to downtownsunprairiewi.com for more information. How about a Christmas carol? Don't be a bah humbug. Enjoy the timeless Dickens classic Thursday, December 1st through Sunday, December 4th in the Sun Prairie East High School Performing Arts Center over on Grove Street. Santa Saturday, another one. Hey, 12:30 to 2:30, Saturday, December 3rd. Visit Santa and tell him your Christmas wishes at the Cross House, located at 133 West Main Street. And guess what website you can go to? Yep, that's downtownsunprairiewi.com to do that. The Big Dance at Angel Park Pavilion. Swing with the bands of Sun Prairie School jazz programs from middle and high school levels from 7:30 to 10:30 on Saturday, December 3rd. During this event benefiting the Sun Prairie Jazz Band program, that's bound to include holiday classics, maybe one or two of those. It'd be kind of cool. Sun Prairie Optimist Club Pancake Breakfast, and I will be there for this event. I'll be broadcasting, so come out and see me from 8 a.m. to noon, Sunday, December 4th. The Colonial Club, located over in Blankenheim, hosts his annual Friend of Youth Pancake Breakfast, featuring all-you-can-eat pancakes, sausages, and applesauce, an art room for kids, music from the Sun Prairie Orchestra students, and a visit from Santa and Mrs. Claus. Admission is free. There's a little surcharge after that, but it's there. Come over and have pancakes with me. Have breakfast. And then lastly, the holiday concert. The Sun Prairie Area Community Band and the Sun Prairie Area Chorus host their annual event designed to get the audience into the Christmas spirit from 3 to 4 p.m. on Sunday, December 4th at Central Heights Middle School. Better notice, that's not Chums anymore. I know, I like Chums. I like saying Chums. But it should be fun. Central Heights Middle School. Don't forget, there's Sunshine Supper tonight. And Our Savior Lutheran Church is the sponsor, and there will be beef taco salad and applesauce. And a huge thank you to Diane Donahue for always giving me what the menu is for Sunshine Supper. Hey, we got a couple of other things that are going to go on. Don't forget, if you're looking to do something special, if you want to give back to the community, if you want to help out some families that may do without, what I want you to do is this. Go to Sunshine Place's website, look up Spirit of Giving, Facebook page. Go to their Facebook page, look up Spirit of Giving, and consider sponsoring a family or a kiddo or something like that. You'll see an entire list there. It doesn't take a lot of money, folks, and every little bit helps. $1 here, $10 there, $1 million later. I mean, it's okay. You can have a lot of fun with that. The Lions Club is doing something fabulous again this year. We started this 2 years ago. Starting the weekends of December 2nd and 3rd, we will start our Santa visits, where Santa Claus comes to your house. We knock on the window, knock on the door, give you a heads up that we're right around the corner, and then we come out and say, "Hi, Billy. How are you?" And the kids just go wild. That's a $20 charge. And we do that all the way through to Christmas Eve. The first year we did this during COVID, we did 900 visits. Last year we did 450, which is understandable, and we're looking to get to 700. We are going to be in Cottage Grove and also in Marshall. Yes, Marshall, I think. No, I'm sorry, Columbus. Columbus, Cottage Grove, Sun Prairie this year, and a little bit of DeForest. So watch for information coming out for that. I'll have a special link, so you'll be able to go on, click the link, reserve your time or time frame. There's not a time. This isn't like going to the doctor. It'll be a time zone kind of thing. It's like 1-ish, 2-ish, or something like that. And it's in the evening, by the way. It's a lot of fun. Santa will be there with an elf and a treat. I promise you there will be treats because I help pick them out, and I know they're tasty. That's all I know. They're just tasty. Good morning, Diane. Glad that you could be there. Hey, this morning we're meeting with a lady that I just think is amazing. I've just met her, and I feel so comfortable being with her, listening to her stories. The exchange and conversation is just so exciting, and I want you to get to know her because I think that she can make your day a little bit brighter, put a smile on your face, and also give you some ideas and thoughts about different things or activities, stuff like that. Almost got it. Almost got it. My goal is to shut the door without breaking the wall down at the same time.
Well, that's a good goal.
So Danelle Gay is in studio right now. Now, I want you to go to either Dannelle, first of all, let's spell it, Dannelle, Fraser, Fraser, Gay, Gay.com, or you can go to the Traveling Cheesehead.com. Check out this lady. I think you're going to get into her website, her Facebook pages, things like that, and just go, wow, I can really relate to this. I love some of the public speaking things you do. The coupon clipping 101. Do people still clip coupons?
I think it's a really different game now. I mean, I don't think I've talked about that at like a library or financial institution in maybe 6 or 7 years. So much has gone digital now.
Wow.
But
It's
people
automatic.
still flip coupons. They still do it.
That first hour, we haven't been on the air.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Rachel. The button pusher forgot to push the button.
Uh-oh.
In 7 years, how many gazillion shows?
I distracted you.
No. It was just a Billism. I had a brain fart. I forgot to push the button. I think I've done that. I mean, hundreds of shows I've done. I've done it 3 times. 3 times. Oh my God.
See, I'm the reason I have lists upon lists, so I would have a checklist on a clipboard that'd be like, okay, that's just how I'd have to work.
Yeah, my checklist is sitting over there. Gosh, dang it all. I'm sorry. But it's on Facebook.
There we go.
And it's recorded, so that's all I care about.
We're good.
And I'm going to give you a copy of the recording afterwards. Oh my gosh. So that should be one of your next ones. How to do a radio show and do it when you're on the air. Oh my gosh. But I got to tell you about coupon clipping. I remember years ago, wife number 2. I've had 3. Going to go for 4 probably. I don't know. If I find the winner, I'll go for 4.
There you go.
Okay. Maybe that's happened. So number 2 was the queen of coupons. And we'd go to the grocery, and I can remember several times. We have a cart full of groceries. And we're living in New Jersey at the time. And I'm looking at this cart, and I'm like, wow. We get through, and they're handing her money back. 10, 20, and we get all the groceries. I'm like, how did you just do that? Coupons. And her mother had taught her how to do this. Had her little coupon holder thing and all that stuff, and she'd hand me a coupon. I'd have to hold it because my job in the grocery was push the cart, watch the purse, and hold the coupons.
There you go.
Yeah, so I knew my place. I knew my place.
My husband would be like, "Oh, are we really doing this?"
I love to go grocery shopping.
Oh, It's fun, depending on where you go, especially Costco when they give you like free samples.
Oh,
I
it's
know.
lunchtime. Hello.
Thank you.
I know.
It's like a date night.
I was there yesterday.
Okay.
So yeah, our routine is Sunday. We start with Costco, and then we go to Aldi's. You know how many people don't take that quarter back?
I know.
I was collecting quarters yesterday.
Well, I use that to bribe the kid. The kid puts the cart back and gets to keep the quarter. That way I don't have to go back from the car. I mean, I just take it in there and I'm like, go get your quarter. And they're like, okay. Takes the cart back.
I love that. That is hilarious. Oh my gosh.
I would get basically paid to take home stuff, but I would buy certain things by the cases, work in the specials.
Sure.
And then donate it in the food pantry. So I donated, I think I was in the Wisconsin State Journal newspaper once I filled my car with cereal. Boxes of cereal and donated to the food pantry, cases of hot dogs one time, just different things like that.
Wow, you just took me in a whole different direction that I didn't expect, and I love that idea.
Yeah.
Now you can still
I
do
don't need
coupons.
500. I mean, when they had the extreme couponing show, they had asked me to be on there, and I turned them down because at the time I couldn't show how I was using it to support a food pantry, and they were like, yeah, no, that's not. And I'm like, okay, nope. But nobody needs 95 cases of diapers, I mean.
I am getting older.
Well, size 5? No, I'm just kidding. But
I'm working on it. I'm
anybody
slimming
who's
down every
used-
day. I'm right now. I'm in a 10, but if I think I could sneak into a 5. I'm not sure.
Well, you're not drinking coffee, so it's not like you have to take the cream out of it to lose that extra.
No, I'm fine.
You're good.
That's cut back a little
Too funny.
bit. I lost where we were. So no, we're talking about coupons.
Oh.
But so do you do coupons still today?
I still coupon. I
Do you?
don't do it as extreme as I used to.
Man, I remember sitting down with the paper. I mean, it's that stuff that used to come in the mail every day. Every day, daily newspaper. Yeah, and you would cut those coupons out. You know what's going on right now with coupons? They're fraud. They're fake coupons.
No.
Went to Fleet Feet. Oh, I had a whole show on Fleet Feet. Oh my gosh, ticked me off so bad. I was mad as a hornet because I went on looking for some shoes. I found some shoes at Fleet Feet, but I found a coupon for like $79, and the shoes were normally $129. Okay, sounds good to me.
Online coupon codes?
Yeah, online coupon codes. So I went in there and I said, well, I have a coupon code, and they go, oh, sir, that's a fake one. No, it says, Fleet Feet right here. And if I push it, it takes me to your site. Well, sir, that coupon doesn't work. Did you try it? Obviously I didn't, because I'm standing in your store. I wanted to come to the local store, not buy online. I'm all about buying local first, and then everywhere else. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Gets the manager on the phone. Now, I'm the consumer, right? I'm the consumer, and so the guy's telling, well, that's just a fake coupon. Sorry. I'm like, well, but that's what got me here. I said, and now the shoes are $129. He said, yeah, that's the price for our shoes. I said, man, this is really kind of deceiving. Well, it's not my fault. I'm like, oh, we're going that way now. I wanted to say, you better be careful pointing that finger, because 3 of them are coming right back at you. I said, but you could be policing these coupons. And what I'm waiting for is to say, hey, you know what? I'm really sorry for your inconvenience, because that's the service I would have given somebody. And said, why don't I give you a 20% discount, or 10% discount, or why don't I buy the insoles for your shoes? Because I always get the insoles first. Nothing. Didn't give a crap what I thought. Didn't care how I felt. And I bought 2 more pair of shoes, but it ain't from Fleet Feet.
The customer service is not what it used to be.
There's a book. I'm telling you, girl.
Do you remember the department store days where
Oh my gosh.
people actually helped you? Now
Yeah.
you can't find someone. You're like, can I check out? Where's the cash register?
know.
Where?
I
Yeah.
know. People would rather argue with you over something stupid and keep you happy as a consumer, because we got a lot of choices today. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about doing crazy things. I mean, because you get some of those wackos that come in there and they're trying to rip off somebody, but when I'm talking about just good customer service. How are you? I'm good, thank you. Is there anything in particular that I can show you? Not right now, but would you mind if I do have a question I come over and ask you? No, that would be fine. I'll be right over here. That's customer service, you know?
Oh, I love walking into a store and nobody even acknowledges you.
Oh, I know.
And then when you're trying to get their attention, I had one person say, "Excuse me, I'll be with you in a minute. I'm busy at the moment." And they were on their phone. And I was like, oh,
Huh.
okay.
Huh.
Huh.
Huh. I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm at a Brooks Brothers. It was Black Friday, and so I'm in there. I love Brooks Brothers shirts, dress shirts and stuff. It's just me. It's a thing. And Nike shoes, Cole Haan shoes. I mean, not that I'm fixed in my ways or anything, but so I'm there, and they had this entire rack of dress shirts, $39. $39. I mean, there's got to be 25, 30 shirts, all different sizes. $39.95. I get up to the register. I got my arms full of stuff. I get up to the register and it's $69. I'm like, no. You missed the sale. It's right over at $39.95. Lady looks over and goes, well, that's not what's coming up on our computer. I'm like, well, if that computer's not working, the one that's sitting on the counter with the big sign, $39.95, that should be working for you. And she's like, I'll have to get my manager. The manager comes out, and I said, what seems to be the problem? Which always reminds me of a doctor. Why are you here today? Well, you tell me and we'll both know. I don't know why I'm sick. Manager comes over, he goes, oh, that's a mistake. Yeah, those are 69. That sign should never have one of my employees probably put that in the
They
wrong
should have
place.
honored it.
Thank you. And I said, well, that's okay. I mean, I'm buying these because they're $39.95. I've got like 8 shirts. And sir, we're not selling them to you for $39. They're $69 if you want them. And I said, I don't want them. And I'm like, wow. And then I thought about it for a second, and I'm looking at the person I'm with, and I said, I'm going to buy these. I'm going to take this to the top, just because that's who I am. So I bought the shirts, paid $69.95 for the shirts, and then I started my writing campaign and reaching out. Took a picture of the display and did all of this, and guess what happened? Got a letter that said, I am very sorry for the inconvenience. Enclosed is a credit for you to use at any Brooks Brothers store, and we apologize for the inconvenience caused. And I'm like, wow, thank you. The only thing else that would blow me away is a phone call by somebody, but they didn't have my phone number. I didn't give it to them. I don't know why, but but it took that much. That was the customer service from the top.
But you had to go all those extra steps
I
to
did.
get it, and the average person wouldn't.
Right. And how many times have I told this story? A bunch about Fleet Feet. But they are a victim. There are fake coupons out there.
There are.
I get that. Address that somehow. Well,
look at what happened in Twitter and the free insulin incident when that company.
Well, I don't know.
You didn't hear that?
No.
Oh my gosh. So here, Musk says for $8 you can be a certified checked, little blue check.
Okay.
And so all of these people started paying their $8 and creating spam accounts. And so somebody spammed, pretended to be the account that makes insulin and says insulin will now be free.
Oh my
And the
God.
company was like, no, insulin's not free.
Yeah.
So their stock tanked. And that's why he stopped the whole blue check thing, because
The Twitter stock tanked, or the insulin company
the
tanked?
insulin company stock tanked.
Wow.
Because their account was spoofed, and it's somebody had a lot of fun with their $8.
Wow.
I know.
Wow, that's something else, I tell you.
Some people work so hard to not work or to make other people miserable.
I
It's
know.
crazy.
I know, right? Take all that negative energy and
Do something
do
with it.
positive stuff.
Build.
I know, if you're that smart to rip somebody off, you've got to be brilliant to help people. I mean, there's so many of those. Lisa Murphy, good morning to you. Glad that you could join. Mary Polinsky's on. Brittany Hensler, good to see you there, Britt. Glad that you're joining me. It's an interesting time out there.
It is.
I've never seen so many people that don't want to work.
I don't know if it's that they don't want to work or they're working differently.
Wow. Oh, really?
Well, when COVID hit and 3.2 million moms all of a sudden had to stay home because schools were closed and someone had to be with the kids, they
Sure.
usually had the smallest or the lower paying job, they found a lot of ways to be very creative.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
So I think there's a lot more digital nomads, people who are working from a keyboard, not in an office, and not going back to, the retail or the restaurant jobs. They found something else while they couldn't do those service jobs.
Sure.
But there were over 1 million people that died of COVID in the country, and you have about 150,000 baby boomers retiring every single day.
Sure.
So that's both ends of the workforce that are going down.
I know. We were at Fairway, and Joe Thiessen was saying that, I think it was Joe Thiessen that said this, or was it Pistol Pete? He said that normally there are about 250 people that are in that building every day. And since we've come out of the pandemic, maybe 20 are there.
That was Pete.
Was it Pete?
Yep.
That blew me away.
And how they try to do like lunches to get them back into the office.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. I think what's going to happen with us, how it's going to affect us, is the synergy and how you work together and bounce ideas off each other is going to it's going to affect us in our output, our creativity, our production. Because I don't think you can go from one to the other like that. But over time, I know we'll work more digitally and more computer oriented, which I'm an in-person guy. I like people and I like being around people.
Stunner. Shocking.
Well, you too, girl.
I know. I'm a hugger. You know how hard it was for 2 years when you couldn't hug anybody?
I love to hug. Oh my gosh.
I know. But it's hard to bounce off in that energy. It's just not the same when you're on a Zoom call.
I can't stand Zoom.
Especially when you see like 10 little screens at the same time. I mean, you
Right.
don't feed off that. The energy, you just don't get it.
No, there's just no way.
No.
I gotta wait my turn to talk? No. Running for city council, I had to do it during COVID. And I'm doing a lot of Zoom calls. And I think I would have, he beat me by like 2%, which was fine. I lost. But I think I would have won if I had that personal interaction. Can you imagine knocking on doors at COVID? In the winter with COVID. Right. Wait. Yeah, what do you want? City council? I mean, it was comical. I enjoyed every minute of it, but
I could see you enjoying the adventure.
yeah, it was fun, having never done that before. But not having that people interaction drove me crazy. Absolutely drove me crazy. But customer service, going back to that, I mean, we're missing that. We have to teach that. It's not about a body in a position. It's a body in a position that's really going to represent your company well or organization well. And one of the phrases, I don't know about you, but one of the phrases I can't stand, no problem. No problem. Hey, thanks for your help on that. No problem. It should be my pleasure. Huge message there. One's like, no problem. Like, I'm insignificant. But the other one is, I appreciate you. I hate that phrase too.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Everybody's
I was thinking, you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. How about that? My pleasure.
Please, thank you. You're welcome.
My pleasure.
We were taught that as kids.
Right. Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, my grandmother, my southern grandmother, Billy, she'd ask me a question and I'd go, yeah. What'd you say?
Yes.
Yeah. I said,
yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
She goes, I didn't hear you very well. I said, yes, ma'am. She goes, that's it. I knew I'd get it. Oh my gosh. Big time. Big time. But then again, I've told people I had to go cut my own willow switch. And it was used. Across the back of the legs. That'll make you not wear shorts, I'll tell you, but it's true.
Oh, that's just the good psychological torture. They're making you cut it yourself.
Oh, psychological. Ooh. Oh, I know. My mom and grandmother. So my mom. So one time I was bad in church. Believe it or not. I was bad in church. I was a little bitty thing. I don't know, probably 20. No. I was young, and we're living with my grandparents, so I had to be between 5 and 7 probably. So I'm talking. My mom said, "You need to calm down." Took me out of church, pulled me out. Right? You need to calm down and relax, or you will get spanked when you get home. So I didn't believe her, so I went back in. I'm just causing problems again. And she looked at me and she goes, "When you get home, I want you to go into our room and pull your pants down and lay across the bed, and you will be getting a spanking." And I was like, "Yeah, right." We got an hour left. Then they got to drive home and all this stuff. We get to the house. Now, a lot of parents out there going, "Did she really spank you?" Yes, she did. Get home, and I'm bouncing off the wall still, blah, 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 being me. She goes, "Billy, go into the bedroom, pull your pants down, and lay across the bed, and I'll be in just a minute." "Why?" "You're getting a spanking." "What?" "I don't know. I'll be good. I'll be good." I'm going to tell you, Danielle, it was like, I felt like it was like a week later. I'm still laying across that bed. Did I move? No. I'm turning my head going, maybe if I just lay here, she'll forget about me. It was the time. I'm like, it hurt before she even did anything.
Oh, yeah.
The torture. Oh, my gosh.
And what was probably like 2 minutes probably seemed like 2 hours.
That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was a week.
And it was the anticipation of what was coming versus, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Then she comes in, and it's a slipper. It's a house slipper. Gotta get the house slipper. And then I made the mistake of putting my hands back. "Don't you put your hands there, or you'll get more." Wait. Okay. Oh, snort. You gotta sort out that one. That's good. Oh my gosh, different worlds.
Very much so.
Different worlds where you respected adults. You were taught to respect adults. And yes, sir, yes, ma'am. To this day, I get criticized for that all the time. This past weekend, I went, "Yes, ma'am," and this lady looked at me and she goes, "I'm a young woman." I said, "Yes, ma'am, you are." And "Why are you calling me ma'am?" I said, "Well, I'm just being polite, just saying thank you. Yes, ma'am. You don't need to call me ma'am."
We were at Cracker Barrel, and
one of my favorite places.
consistent yum.
Hello.
Yeah, and the waitress, thanks so much. Brought the coffee. Thank you, nectar of the gods. Thank you so much. And she's just looking at me like, and I'm like, do people not thank you? I mean, you're bringing me food, beverages, substance. Thank you, because you're bringing it to me. I don't have to go get it. This is awesome. But it's the little kindnesses.
Oh yeah, I agree. I have so much fun with waitstaff because I want to learn something about them. Now, talk about my mother again. My mother, "You don't need to flirt with the waitstaff." I said, "Mom, it's a guy." "Well, you're flirting with him." I'm like, "No, I'm just trying to show I'm interested in him." "Well, why are you interested in him? He's just serving you food." I said, "Because I appreciate him, and I'm just curious about him." And she couldn't stand that. She's like, "Oh no, Billy." When Billy Joe came out, that's when you took cover. Duck and cover.
Oh yeah, when you got the whole name, man, you were in trouble.
Billy Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever hear the story about my mom changing my name?
No.
Oh, you're gonna love this one. I could write a book on this one. So we moved to Michigan from Kentucky. I'm a Kentucky kid. Was born, raised there till 6th grade, and then my dad, he is my dad, my stepfather. They married when I was 8, and I want to say 6th grade we moved to Dundee, Michigan, and my mom goes to register me for school where it's in January, and she decides that Billy Joe may not go over very well in Michigan. So she changes my name because she wants me to be accepted. She wants me to be a part of the gang and all that stuff, and one that they can relate to. And so she changed it to BJ. Yeah. With that name, you either learn to take a punch or give a
Give a
punch.
punch.
And I took a lot more than I ever gave. But Whitney McMahon is on here. She knows. Valerie Eltz, she's on here. She's listening. She knows because I grew up with them. And BJ. To them, I am still BJ. What's funny is I got older. I go to college, and it's not BJ anymore. It's Beej. And then my best friend at the time of college, he changes it to B. I mean, how much shorter can my name get? But I guess.
So our last name is Gay, Gay.
Yeah.
And we knew we wanted to name our kid Sarah with an H. Everybody else is just too lazy.
Uh-huh.
And you have to think about these things. We knew it couldn't be Sarah Lee because nobody does it like Sarah Lee. That was not going to be on a bathroom wall. So we ended up with Sarah Lynn because that was my husband's dear aunt who were just losing to cancer. But so yeah, Sarah Lynn Gay.
Okay.
But yeah, namings are very important. You have to think of all the options and what could or could not, or oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, I got one, but I'm not going to talk about it on the air. I've got a family story, but I'm not sharing that. I'll share it off the air with you.
Okay, well I'll see you Friday for coffee.
Oh
wait, no, there's no Friday coffee this week.
I'm leaving for Kentucky. Well, in fact, my real estate show won't be on this week either. But
you travel as much as I do.
Yeah, I know.
I don't even know how many states I did this year.
Oh my gosh! And I just decided that driving there is just as easy as flying.
Mm-hmm.
Flying has gone crazy. Has gone crazy with the prices and all that. But
right now, I think it's cheaper to fly to Europe than it is a lot of continental
Oh,
United
really?
States.
Well, that would be a fun. We should go.
Although I'm looking at a lot of cruises next year because I can get cruises for under $200.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, $89 a night, depending on your stateroom and all that. Then I've got cruise.
A night? I'm talking like $150 for a 7-day cruise.
Stop!
Oh yeah.
You wrote about that.
I will be. I've got a new
No,
website coming out called cruiselineinfo.com.
I saw that somewhere. Where I have it in my notes.
Yeah, I'm starting a cruise website.
And I saw that, and I clicked on it actually, and it went nowhere. And I went, oh,
Because I haven't launched it yet.
it's because we didn't cruise anywhere. We haven't left dock. You should put on there when you go to the landing page. You go, still docked. I loved cruises.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Well, and I'm writing articles about all the different ports too, because sometimes you land your cruise, but it's like a day or so before you fly back home,
Sure.
or you fly there and you have like a day or so before you take off. So all these different ports, like where to eat, what things you can see, where to stay, all that stuff I'm writing about right now.
I've probably, if I say I've been on 20 cruises, I've been on 30. My ex-wife would book cruises and not even tell me where we're going. She would pack everything. Well, here's the reason: is before real estate, I owned Baker Healthcare. I had 24 employees. We did about $5 million in sales. We are the largest single-family wholesaler of medical equipment and supplies in the state of Wisconsin. And I'm one of those guys that I love to work. I mean, 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I'm up and working. That's why when I sold the business, I went into depression because I didn't have anything to do. I thought, people talk about, I'm going to be retired. Well, that doesn't excite me. I mean, and I was volunteering at church and school, and all this didn't work for me. But going back to the cruises, she would book a cruise just to throw us on the cruise. There were times we never got off the ship. And I'd take 2 or 3 books. I'd probably read another one from somebody else. And that's how relaxing and enjoyable they are. Do you feel that vibration when you're sleeping in the ship? And then they're also, I figured out, probably after the 50th cruise, there's ways to book your cruise, and then there's ways to get upgrades and to get the things you really want. Mm-hmm. And they're a blast. I mean, people say to me all the time, well, what are you going to do on the ship? I'm like, what can't you do on the ship?
Oh my gosh, the shows, the food,
the food.
And then the buffets.
How about the buffet? How about the ice cream?
And then the food.
At 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning.
Well, and the pool, the spas. I mean, there's so much stuff. Cruises can be fun.
It's a little city.
Yeah.
But you go to different places. I mean, we went. So for Christmas,
excursions.
We went to Panama for Christmas. Went through the Panama Canal. Went to the lake. Now, when they say go through the Panama Canal, you go through part of the canal, then you go into the big lake, and then from there you would proceed on through the channel. But then they turn you around and you come back through the canal. Nothing's better than waking up on Christmas Day and you're in the canal, and there's like 3 feet on either side of the ship. It is one of the coolest things I've ever experienced. But here's the trick to traveling at Christmas time. So, as you're saying, you go down. Well, we would go down a day before and stay at a hotel. Now, before that, we shipped all the Christmas presents to that hotel because if you're flying, sometimes they want you to open those presents that you've wrapped beautifully with the decorative stuff that you're going to throw away and all that, and fill up landfills with. But so you ship it down to the hotel, and then you bring it over to the ship because the ship doesn't open it; they just X-ray it, and it just goes on just like your luggage. So we even put a little bitty Christmas tree. We had it, so we'd have Christmas tree, and then we'd have all the presents in there because we went down the day before, and that way you also eliminate all the stress with the ship because you're going to get on about 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, depending, and then you go, and then we would guess what? We would stay at the hotel when we got back and fly out the next day. We never missed a flight, right?
Yep.
And if you're thinking about cruising, you gotta stay tuned for what she's going to give you with information because it'll be priceless. I have a feeling. Look at that smirk. She's got it. She's got it. Oh my gosh. It's cruising is fun. Where's your favorite place?
Oh gosh. I haven't cruised since COVID. So
well, get on it.
I'm working
There's
on
some
that.
deals.
Well, working on that 100 Things to Do in Wisconsin Before You Die. I was all over Wisconsin pretty much this year. I got the manuscript turned in August, and then after that, I managed to pull in everything from Louisiana to Bismarck, North Dakota besides that. So
Hey.
I've been all over. Hey.
Don't you know?
Yeah. Well, Bismarck, they got a lot going on.
Your book comes out in March, right?
Yes. They said March 15th, and my book launch party, it looks like, will be April 3rd here in Sun Prairie.
Whereabouts?
Salvatore's Pizzas.
You're going to do it at Salvatore? Is that going to be big enough?
It should be big enough.
Okay.
I would rather have a place that's packed than a place that's huge that's not full.
Okay.
But Sal's is in there because I put Eat Farm to Fork, and Patrick does a wonderful job, really supports local farmers, does a lot for Sun Prairie and fellow people too, and so I actually have them featured in the book.
Sure. But
that day, all the sales, my book launch party, all the sales from the book, the profits, are going to go to the Sun Prairie Emergency Food Pantry.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that when we were in COVID, and so I'm part of the Sunshine Supper committee or board, and so we were doing the rotations on feeding people. And Patrick, we were doing Monday and Wednesday. Patrick covered Wednesday.
Yep.
Now, when I say that is he provided the food. And so we were figuring out $10 a meal is what it cost, and we could not allow him to do that because it was astronomical. The price. So the Sunshine Supper paid for half of it, and so but it was still costing him $1,000 a week. That's a lot of dough, So it's he's a very generous man, and I love his food.
Oh, the pizza's so good.
I've never seen
and the desserts, and the salads, and
Oh my gosh. He still does meals for Sunshine Supper that he doesn't have at his restaurant. And I've said to him many times, can you please put this dish in the restaurant? I'd like to have it again. Or come to my house and fix it for me.
There you go. Silent auction. That sounds like a good thing. Dinner with Patrick, and a group of like 9 more people.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't that sound good?
It sounds like a raffle item for
I think so.
No, right? Dinner with Patrick. So we're talking about cruises. You said you haven't cruised since COVID.
Yeah.
Where do you like to go? Are you a Bahamian lady, Caribbean, of course, Eastern, Western?
I've done a lot of the Bahamas.
Yeah.
I was supposed to do a European cruise, and then COVID hit. Nothing like being a travel writer, having 17 press trips lined up and realizing the world's shutting down.
Oh, wow.
And that was why we punted and did the road trip book instead, because outdoor experiences, local. And I really love supporting local economy. There's so many gems in our own backyard. It's that's what I love the most about the book that I just wrote, is being able to showcase a lot of fun things from Wisconsin.
Well, our thing about brandy and cheese curds, fish fries, prime rib.
Okay, I got fish fries in the book. Well, actually, Door County fish boils.
Yeah.
Very first thing says, eat at a Wisconsin supper club.
Always.
I want to say 283 supper clubs in Wisconsin. There's quite a variety. Some call themselves steakhouses, but they're really supper clubs. I don't care what they say.
They must be from Illinois.
But, there's just some very unique Wisconsin
Yeah.
things like a supper club.
Oh yeah, Ishnala.
I did not put Nishnala in the book.
What?
Mm-mm. The supper club I featured is in Beaver Dam. It's Contapios.
Okay.
They are a Gold Star family. They lost their son Ryan, a Marine, almost 20 years ago.
Okay.
They do free meals for veterans. They do big stuff on Veterans Day, Memorial Day.
Okay.
And if you can't support a Gold Star family, I figure,
Sure.
shame on you. But when I was there checking them out and talking with the owner and all of that, he went back into the kitchen, and then like 3 other tables, people leaned over and said, "We're veterans, we never take the free meal." But they put money down on the one table for the program and for the other things that they do. So it looks like I'll be doing a book signing there and donating the profits to the Wounded Warrior program, or Wounded Warrior Project, in their son Ryan's name.
Fantastic. I mean,
But I list other ones, like I love
Cimarrolis.
Delbar.
That's not really a
Maple
supper club.
Tree in Delbar?
You don't think so?
Sure it is.
You do?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
They have after dinner drinks and brandy old fashions and prime rib and stuff.
But you put them in there and not Ishnala?
Okay, so you're a tourist coming from out of state and you want to go to a restaurant. Ishnala, you have to get there like 2-3 hours in advance to get on the list.
If you're going to go there this Saturday, you should go there today and get in
Pretty
line.
much, right?
Yeah.
So it's really frustrating if you're somebody who's like traveling and checking out tourism and stuff like that. I mean, yes, Ishnala is an experience. Yes, they have good food. They go way back to the Hoffman Brothers days.
Oh my gosh.
But that is not an easy place to get into, and it's really frustrating for many people.
Oh my gosh. But they have, it's sold out every night. Every night. There's got to be a reason. Oh yeah, Mirror Lake. No, that's not it. They actually muddled their own brandy old fashions.
There are a lot of places that muddle their own brandy old fashions.
Their portions are huge compared to Delbar. And Delbar's good. I like the Delbar too. I like to go there. But there's just something about Ishnala. Even the name.
I'm not knocking Ishnala. We've been there.
And then, okay, so you didn't put Toby's in there.
I might have gotten Toby's in there for fish fry. I'm not sure.
Now that's an experience in itself too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've never been to Toby's is as you're going over to
Dutch Mill Road.
Towards Stoughton.
On 51.
Off 51. And prepare yourself for an experience. It will be packed on a Friday night. Don't worry, they'll find you. You walk in the door, a lady will approach you. Normally it's a lady. And your name goes on a list, and then she disappears. You go to the bar, you're about 2 deep at the bar, you have a good time, and all of a sudden, this lady appears and goes, "Your table is ready." And like, "How did you find me? How did you remember that?" And then you walk over to your table, it's already set up and everything, and you're about to have your meal. It blows
It's a
me
fine
away.
art there.
It
It's a
is!
fine art. There's no pagers, there's
No!
no PA system.
No!
It's a fine-tuned machine.
It's amazing. Every time I'm there, I can't believe it. And it may take you 1 brandy old fashioned or 2. You should always get 2.
That's the state law. For a fish fry or even a supper club, you have to have at least 1 brandy old fashioned.
Well, of course you do. The question
Do you
is,
know there are some states where they do bourbon?
bourbon
They
old
do
fashioned?
bourbon old fashions?
That must be Illinois.
I pray for them. The heathens. The heathens.
Heathens. You're a heathen. Oh my gosh. Heathens. Toby's is an experience. I mean,
It is.
that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cimarrolis. I've been there. That's a ways out there, though.
Let's see, Milton, Fredericks, and Buckhorn.
Oh yeah, there's a good one.
The Buckhorn, man, they've got a pier right on the lake. You can just
Sure.
take your boat right on in and get up there.
Sure. How about Hookers? Would you consider that a supper club or a
Yeah.
steakhouse?
Maybe more of a steakhouse.
Because you got to fix your own steak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like to do that? You like to go to restaurants?
I used to like the Prime Quarter when they had it in Madison. I think they still have one in Janesville.
They do.
Yeah, where you cook your own steak and.
So you like that?
Yeah, it depends.
Yeah.
It's nice having. I mean, I don't mind cooking my own steak because I know that that's going to be exactly the way that I want it. But then I don't have to clean up either. That's kind of nice.
At my house, I do clean up. She cooks, I clean.
Well, I'm the chef. We decided that when we got married.
Yeah.
I cook, he doesn't. He cleans.
So that's the next thing on my list to talk to you about. What do you mean you're a chef? What restaurant did you have?
I had Toby's Cafe in Sun Prairie and Cardinal Catering. So
Now,
gosh, it's
when
been
was-
closed over 20 years now.
Where was Toby's?
Right downtown.
On Main Street?
So we first
In
opened up on the
between?
corner, and you know where that cute little park is, right across from City Hall? There was a building on the corner there, and that's where our restaurant started. And we
Wow.
left there, moved to the 200 block. I want to say it was 210 East Main. It was the old Triggs Bakery, and we went in there.
Okay.
And that's where we were until we closed.
Wasn't there a restaurant up next to like B's Jewelers or something, or on Main Street, a little bitty one? It might have had 5 stools in there or something. I can't. Somebody from Sun Prairie, tell me what that restaurant is. If you're on Facebook right now.
Next to the jewelry store. I don't think there was a restaurant in there.
It was like smashed in there somewhere, but I don't know. I don't
Been
know.
longer than 30 years then. I don't know. That's about how long I've been in town.
What we just found is La Rosita.
Yes.
That's a cute little place to go in and have. And the burritos, oh my gosh. You'll take half of it home. And it's cheap.
I take half of everything home. It's
Did-
crazy. The portions are huge.
I just ordered 2 meals and take the second one. I mean,
There you go.
I know. But
Meal planning.
So what other supper club? Give me another supper club.
Oh gosh. Going up like Mantwish Waters. I like Norwood Pines.
I've never been there.
You've never been up to like Mantwish Waters and
I
places
have.
like that?
but
Okay,
I've never
Norwood
been to
Pines.
I've never been there.
Oh, it's haunted by Edgar.
Is it?
It used to be a house of ill repute, and Edgar he was the madam, but he was in love with one of his girls who she did not reciprocate the feelings, and so he haunts the place.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you have to talk about, the Dillingers, Little Bohemia up there.
Well, there you go. I've been there.
Yep.
Been in that area before. Where else? I'm trying to think of another supper club that I really like and I can't think. Well, it used to be the Wagon Wheel, but that's gone. I love supper clubs. Love supper clubs.
Before
I like
COVID, I was working on a supper club book, like 100 supper clubs in Wisconsin to hit, and I had gone through 72 prime rib dinner, brandy old fashioned sweets, the whole thing. And my publisher said, "I'm a little nervous with this whole pandemic thing. Maybe we should pause this." And I'm like, "No."
Oh my gosh.
So that's one I can pick up. I will say that all 72 I had picked and covered are still here. So
Well, Harriman's, that was one, remember?
that was excellent in the day.
Oh my gosh, that was pickled herring. I like pickled herring.
You and my husband, you two can just,
I
I
love
get him
it.
a jar of the holidays, and I'm like, okay, you go into that one room, enjoy this with the crackers,
I don't eat crackers.
open the windows, and then, you can come back out to the rest of the family.
Along with pickled beets.
Oh, I like pickled beans.
Love pickled beets.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. So what else have we got? All right, so talk a little bit more about your book. Where are they going to be able to find your book in March?
Oh,
'Cause that'll
yeah.
be here before you know. They should buy it right now for Christmas.
It's not available right now for Christmas.
Well, get on the waiting list or something.
They can get the Midwest Road Trip Adventures they can get now.
Okay, talk about that.
So that was the book that we wrote during COVID. I partnered with travel writers from the different Midwest states. So there's 12 states that we cover. And we covered the highways and the byways. So different things that you can do. Like I covered the Great River Road, the Door County Coastal Byway, up by Lake Superior. And then there was nothing down in the bottom corner of the state.
Racine.
So I put in Lake Geneva, Racine, and Kenosha.
Don't you know?
I created my own little 110 mile whatever. And but I love Lake Geneva. They have a drive-through animal safari.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? You can buy your tickets for Jungle Jays, right online.
Okay.
And you can buy buckets of feed online. So you sit there with your car. It's not open now. It's closed for the season. You have to wait till the spring. But you sit there and you roll your window down and you hold the bucket of feed, and everything from yaks to ostriches will come up to the car to get the feed. They come to you, and you can drive through as many times as you want. It's not like a one time and you're done. If you still have feed, drive through again. It's hilarious. And ostriches are so stupid. You're holding the bucket and they're all over the place. Where everybody else, the camels, they know where the bucket is. But it's hilarious. That's just one of the gems I put into 100 Things to Do in Wisconsin book.
You know, Racine's got an absolutely beautiful zoo that's down there, right on the lake.
Yep.
And a great little, I was down for a fundraiser for that. And what a great place to go to. If you're going to go to Racine, stop by the zoo.
And the Racine Art Museum.
Absolutely.
They have their big Peeps display.
Right.
Before Easter, they do a big Peeps art competition.
I love that. Do you know that Racine at one time was one of the largest brick manufacturers in the United States?
It's amazing, isn't it?
It is. In fact, my buddy Scott Homerson, his family had that brick business, and then also the bank. So I guess you can't go wrong. You got bricks and you got a bank.
There you go.
I know. What else are we going to do with it? So how do they go buy this book?
You can find it on Amazon. Midwest Road Trip Adventures is on Amazon.
And they got to make sure. And now, whose name is on there? Is it yours on the front of it?
It's Midwest Travel Writers Network. So we collectively together went with the network. So we're listed in the book. We each have our own chapters, things like that.
See, I think it'd make a great table book. Now, I'm showing my age, I guess. But I was always raised where there are books on the table, and they're called table books. Things of interest. So I right now I have the Springsteen and Barack Obama book that's on there. I've had the SEALs book when my son was in the Navy. I've had different kinds of books. Crazy questions or crazy Wisconsin trivia or something like that. Those are books that, you said books everywhere. People will pick up a book and they'll look at it. Thank God they'll look at it, you know. Are you still into books, or are you a reader?
I have both.
You have.
Sometimes I love the tactile of the book.
Yes.
And just the smell.
Yes.
But at night, if I want to read and he wants to sleep, I use the reader because I can do the black screen and dim it, so I can still read without having the bedside light on, so he can sleep.
I have a light that clips onto my book.
And it still makes light, though. I mean.
It does, but it beams right down to the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just saying.
Okay.
But at least you have books. My dad, just send it to my reader. Yes, Dad, I'll do that.
Well, they're simple, especially when you're packing, you know, when you have that cruise. Instead of having, 4, 5, 6 books or whatever in your luggage, it's the reader that fits in your carry-on bag.
And I'm a snob. A book snob.
Okay.
Hardcover.
Oh, hardcovers are nice.
And I collect them.
You can get Midwest Road Trip Adventures in hardcover.
I collect them. If I said 200, I probably have 300 books at home. I won't give them away. If I share them, I ask for them back.
I have more cookbooks than that.
You do?
Yeah.
Now, I tell you, I love cookbooks. I can't make squat.
You just like the pretty pictures.
I love the pictures. And I also like cooking shows. I can sit and watch cooking shows. Now, what's really funny is I can tell you how to make something, but I won't make it.
I have a cooking YouTube video.
You do?
Or YouTube show, or channel. So I have cooking videos on, it's Operation 40K. It's on YouTube, and it's cooking videos.
So, Operation 4, say it again.
Operation 40K for Operation 40K.
So you got to check that out, because I think that whole thing in itself is pretty cool. But
I think I just did a bananas Foster Belgian waffle recipe on there.
Wow.
It's good.
Wow, yum.
Uh-huh.
Hello. Yeah, being somebody that was just diagnosed with pre-diabetic, or what do you call that? Yeah,
I was. That's before I did that surgery, and I
you
reversed
did?
it.
Oh man, I've been fighting this for a while, so, and low blood pressure stuff. Don't know why my blood pressure goes up so high, but it does. But oh well. Here, take a pill. You'll be fine. Everything's take a pill.
I know, right?
Yeah, I don't want to take a pill. What have I forgotten?
The coffee.
Oh, talk about the coffee. I'm sorry.
There's a box of it in there if you want to take a look at it.
I'll take.
I brought you a goodie bag.
She brought me a goodie bag, a gift. All right, there's my coffee.
That's the coffee. Oh, and there's the ornament hanging out of it.
Oh.
Because we met at a coffee.
Yeah, we did. Oh, you're so sweet.
So my husband makes those.
He does?
Coffee, because adulting is hard.
I love it. That's good coffee.
So with the coffee, It's like a billboard in every box. I did like a Travel Tip Tuesday video where I held up a zippy bag. Isn't he cute? Little stuffed French toast.
I love it.
Okay, I'm over 40, so I make the labels on the K-Cups very simple. It's a picture with words. It's not all the small little print. But
I love that.
Travel Tip Tuesday, I did a video where I kind of held up a zippy bag full of coffee, and I said all these hotels now, they have Keurigs, but they have crappy coffee.
They do.
So I bring my own coffee. I have here, my French vanilla cappuccino, all of this stuff. You're like going crazy for my book, aren't you?
Oh, man. Autographs are
Yep.
priceless to me. See? Here's the book, guys, if you're wanting to order. I'm going to say go buy it.
That's a signed first edition.
Oh.
The second edition just came out.
Okay.
So the cover looks a little different now, but it's a great book with, seriously, talented group of writers that I'm with. Like Therese, who wrote Illinois, she's an Emmy winner. Sarah Breurs from Iowa, Tim and Lisa Trudell did Nebraska. Some amazingly talented travel writers in there.
You don't know how much I appreciate this. These are priceless to me. This internet stuff one day will go away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and this is what we're going to live on are our books. And you got to remember how to read them and how to just dive in and enjoy a book. Somebody said one day, we got to start at the beginning. No, you don't. Start wherever you want to start. If you want to read the last part, fine.
Well, and
It's your book.
each chapter is a different state, so it depends on where you're going.
Kentucky's not in here.
It's not a Midwest state, silly.
What? Come
no.
on, they tell you. A lot of some of the like Mississippi, Louisiana, they'll tell you Kentucky's a northern state. Excuse me? Oh my gosh. I tell you. We got about 3 minutes to go on this show. But thank you for the coffee and everything.
Sure.
I was going to tell you something. I forgot what it was because I lost my train of thought. And like forgetting to turn on the button. Push the button.
It happens.
Bill, push the button.
Oh, my coffee. I'm partnering with different destinations and doing
Okay.
fundraisers with some of the labels too.
Hey, real quick, we got 3 minutes. Let's talk about the chamber. Why did you join the chamber?
I work with a lot of different chambers and DMOs because travel writing, that's the thing. But so many were hit hard with COVID, so they have smaller staff, smaller budgets. So working to build tourism, especially in my own community. I mean, with the book launch, giving the money from that day back to our own Sun Prairie Emergency Food Pantry, it just makes sense to build up my own community.
Oh, I think that's awesome. Service is the biggest thing in my heart, is to give to other people to help out. And like I said, our chamber is doing fantastic.
And I heard there's this guy called Bill Baker.
Ah, he's a nice guy.
He is a nice guy.
Yes.
So that was, it was like, okay, sold, done. All right.
I love it. Hey, I hope you've enjoyed today's show. We've been talking to Danelle Gay, and I want you to go to her website, DannelleFrazierGay.com, or just go to the Traveling Cheesehead.com. Get to know this lady and check out the things she does. She's absolutely amazing. She will hold your attention forever. Well, I mean, you are, because, like I said, I have 4 pages. I don't have 4 pages of notes for the governor. When I interview the governor. So but I have 4 pages of
He's
yours.
a nice guy. We went fishing for the governor's fishing opener
Did
weekend
you?
this year.
Well,
He's so nice.
I'm really tickled to know you and to getting to know you. I think there's going to be a lot of synergy between you and I.
Oh, I think there's going to be a lot of fun.
And I could definitely see you doing a TV show here, or definitely a radio show here.
We will see what's in the works.
All right, I appreciate that very much. All right, guys, have a great week. I am not here on Monday. Don't forget that. Oh, I want to put some music in here somewhere. There we go. We got to put Journey in there somehow as we go away. I won't be here on Wednesday. I will be back on next Monday. So join me then. Don't have a guest scheduled at this time, but I will. I promise I will. But Dannelle, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And again, check her out, DannelleFrazierGay.com or TravelingCheesehead.com, and buy that book, Midwest Road Trip. You won't be disappointed. Hey, catch you next Monday right here, back on the radio. See you then. Bye, everybody. Facebook is still on.
Okay.
Just telling you. Because this is usually where things are said. I'm going to go turn us off.
This was fun.
2 hours. Just went